So I am thrilled to be able to chat to my lovely friend Lou Martin today, who is coming to us all the way from Ireland. Lou has a whole array of gifts and spiritual divine gifts that he gives to the world. And beautiful, I love your heart, metaphorically and literally.
Thank you.
And Lou is going to be chatting to us today about tarot and the archetypes and why tarot can help us in our lives and how it can help us, and also just give us a little bit of information about your abilities and your gifts, Lou. You do so much in terms of what you give out to the world, your universal service. So please let us know all about what you're doing at the minute and what you've done in the past.
Bless you, my dear Aussie friend. Bless you, bless you. I'm delighted to be here with you, Medina. Thank you, honey.
Thank you. It's lovely to have you.
You're welcome. Well, Medina and I did a lovely hour together with her healing circle on the eclipse on the 8th.
I absolutely loved it.
Thank you. And I was just saying to her energetically that just put me on the sidelines, closed for repairs for the next 3 weeks. And I'm just crawling out now from under my rock with the will to live one more time, which is a joy. And I have beautiful Kauai in my background, even though I'm here in cloudy, dark, cold Ireland this morning.
But it's green. It's very green.
It's always green, babe. It's as green as it gets, let me tell you. And sometimes the sun comes out, and it's glorious.
Comes out too much. It comes out too much where I am.
I know. We have to find a good middle there. Yes. So Medina and I chatted after the channeling on the eclipse, and wanted to find things that I could share with people that her groups might be interested, her wonderful followers might be interested. So I talked about spiritual empowerment, and that led us to talk about the tarot, using the tarot as a tool for spiritual empowerment. I use Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels, looks like that, because when I learned to read cards, I was actually working in Sedona, Arizona in the year 2000, and I was living in Prescott over Mingus Mountain.
I've got a friend.
Oh, you do?
Joseph.
Okay.
Joseph, did you know a healer called Joseph?
No, this is 20 years ago now, so, yeah. But it was a joy. I got to do my channeling groups in Sedona and learn how to do the card reading. So to talk about oracles and the archetypes, there are many. The tarot is well known. Astrology is well known. There's the I Ching, there's the Book of Runes. There's many wonderful ways to ask for more feedback and more clarity from the universe. So that's what the tarot gives us. And so what I learned is what's called appropriately for an Irish American guy, the Celtic cross. And so the Celtic cross is a particular spread, and each card is in a particular position, and each position helps you to tell the story. And so how this relates to what we call the archetypes, studying with one of my guides, Lazarus, off and on for 30 some years, they talk about how the archetypes are the essential building blocks of creation. And the archetypes are kind of like the elemental kingdom and kind of like the other aspects of spirit that don't really have a will of their own. They are, their particular energy. And so like in astrology and the planets, we know, what each planet represents, what each house represents, what each position of the planets in the houses represent. So with tarot and card readings, it's the same idea. The position of the cards represents something, and the card itself represents something. That's the second step. And the third layer is how they all interconnect. So basically what we're doing with any card reading and any astrology reading is we're inviting our intuition, our higher self, and our guides in to help us to deliver a message of truth and healing and empowerment, clarity and wisdom, to who we're working with, including when we're doing readings for ourselves. So I'll just give you like a little outline here of what I've got laid out today, very briefly.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have 4 cards horizontal, 1 above and below, 4 cards in a straight line on top of each other, and an extra card. So the positions are the self, card number 1 on the left, the situation, card number 2 on the right, the influence of the past, card number 3 on the left, the influence of the future, card number 4 on the right, the unconscious mind below, the conscious mind above. On the straight line, it's identity, inner self, outer self, outcome, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 1 to grow on. That's the overall card. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
so in my,
very comprehensive.
It's extraordinarily detailed, and this is what we do. These are the tools that are essential when you're up against a challenge or crisis. You need more clarity. You need more ideas. You need more feedback. That's what they're there to do. So so I have new love as the first card. So that's very positive, very powerful, very uplifting. We could say this is for the 2 of us. This reading is for us. Okay.
Yes.
Then we have the situation, ideas, and inspirations, which we were just talking about before we got on. So we're bringing this new love into this. See, the energy is starting to flow already. Bringing this new love into these ideas and inspirations. And we're both going, what about this? What about that? Et cetera, et cetera. Groovy. The influence of the past here, Medina, is soulmate. And that makes good sense where you and I are concerned, my friend. I think we might know each other for a little while. Absolutely. on the scale of things. Yes, we might go back a way.
It's funny because, when you connect with someone who's a soulmate, it's like you don't have to explain yourself. They just know who you are. You know who they are. And it's like the groundwork's already been done. You don't have to.
Exactly. Yes. You can just get on with it, as we say. Yeah. Beautiful. The influence of the future is serenity. So that is what we're both feeling as well. Things are getting simpler. Things are getting clearer. We don't have to fight the old battles any longer. Yeah. We can trust, as we were saying, how important that is. You mentioned your screen lit up when you were mentioning trust in one of your videos.
Yes, my Georgie Ban video about the Victorian Premier. Yeah, when I said the importance of divine faith and trust, the whole screen lit up. Right. I recommend viewers go and look at that. It was really cool.
Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, Spirit will sneak in any chance we give it to give us the information. Our work for all of us as spiritual human beings is to learn to be receptive and available and to trust what we get.
And our synchronicities absolutely accelerating at the moment. I mean, I did an introductory video, I put it on my channel, and then I realized it was 555. And then I looked up the meaning of 555, and the whole, and you can't manufacture that because you can't make the time yourself. It just turns out the time when the video finishes. And so then I looked up 555, and the whole channel is about, raising consciousness, a rising of humanity, and going into the golden age, the transition of the earth into that. And the meaning, when I looked it up, of 555 was change is imminent, all about that transformational phase of going into new energies. And it was like perfectly aligned with everything that the channel's about. And I thought, oh, thank you, Divine. Thank you. You're amazing.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
All these incredible synchronicities that are happening now.
Wonderful. Yes, that's it. Well, synchronicity, my guides say, is when we're being intimate with our truer self.
Okay, beautiful. Is that the higher self, the truer self?
Yes. Divine self, we can use any different name we like, but really the part of us that is consciously connected to soul, spirit, and the Almighty.
It's when you align, so you're in the same flow, because the same flow brings all these synchronistic things.
Yeah. We're in the higher self. We're in the higher vibration. We're trusting. We're moving and grooving. We're playing our music. We're eating good, healthy food. We're exercising. We're loving the sunshine and enjoying the clouds. Whatever.
you haven't tasted my partner's cooking, eating the good food. Oh my God, he's the most incredible cook. But anyway, another story.
I read that. Yes, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. You're doubly blessed. Yes, good, honey. Good. So here, just carrying on here to finish this. The unconscious perfect is divine timing.
Yep. Yep.
So that is you and I acting from that trust we're just talking about.
Yep.
You know, we just know something, but we don't know why we know it. Like, yeah, this feels right. Okay, good. And what they also say is divine timing is what has happened. And this, I'm sure this applies to everyone who would listen to this here today and be thinking about these things. What has happened up until now was necessary in order for what is coming to be possible.
Right.
You know?
Yes. Well, you could align that with the last 2 years of what everyone's gone through. If we want to go to a better reality, we have to see all the things that weren't serving us, all the darkness, in order to be able to not revisit that again and recreate it. Because there's no point moving forward if you're not aware of the problems, because otherwise you'll just you create them again as you go forward.
Yeah. Absolutely. Groundhog Day, as we say. Yes. Yeah. Good. Well, it's Groundhog Day again. You know that film with Bill Murray, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Well, things, and as we know, things are changing. But yes, I mean, I bless you for your light work, my friend, and your courage. And I see a lot more people speaking the truth out there, you know, than ever before. Really, it's really starting to turn into a flow of information that people are recognizing as the truth once again.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
and part of that, being able to step out of the suppression and the censorship, is people being able to have the ability to know what they want to express, you know, to connect with their own authentic truth. It's not just a matter of us getting rid of the censorship. It's about us connecting to what do we want to say that is true for our soul? How do we express that authentically? Because if we're not doing that, it actually helps support a system that suppresses our voice.
Well said. Beautifully said, hon. You know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's the line I like.
Yes. There's a song about that by a group from, I think they're from Ireland, but I forget their name. I'll put it up.
Okay. Get back to me. Get back to me on that. Yes, that's good.
Script.
Okay.
Script. I just remembered the Script they're called, and I think they're from Ireland or somewhere around there. The Script, and they've got a song that, you know, if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. Actually, I could put a link below in the description for that song.
Okay, hon. That's great. That's great. So Guardian Angel is the here. I should show this. Guardian Angel. Let's see. Can we see that at all?
Coming up very well.
Here. I have to be behind it. Yeah.
Yes.
So that is the conscious mind for us, and it's just a reminder: don't focus on perfection, and know that you have help, and you can ask for and receive that help. You know.
Yeah.
When we, you know,
perfectionist streak stops people from actually doing anything, doesn't it? It can paralyze people so that they think, oh well, if I don't do it well enough, I can't do anything. I might as well not do anything at all. So overcoming that inner critic that stops from actually stepping forward.
Yeah, I can relate to that, having gotten really back into my music more than ever before in this lifetime in the last year, and being, playing sometimes 6 hours a week.
Wow.
And, just being very patient with myself, that it just takes whatever time it takes, you know.
And I want people to go and listen to Lou's beautiful voice and beautiful guitar. He's really got a gift there. So.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. You as well, my friend. Thank you. So, all right. So this is what we call the main focus here. These are the most important cards. Then the other cards support them. Why I use the angel cards and not the traditional tarot deck is just my own personal choice. Obviously, you can use any deck as long as you know where the position of the cards go. You know, you shuffle them up, you put your intention in there with who you're doing the reading for, etc. and you boop, 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 you lay them out and you see what the what's in the X-ray, I call it. Okay, here's what's the deep dive below the surface. And the thing is about to come back to archetypal energy, it's like we all have. So in the tarot, there's the major arcana and the minor arcana. There are, the emperor and the sun and all the major figures. These are the 12 personality types, the 12 archetypes. What my teacher Addie Lamborn calls the path of Hercules. Yeah, the challenge of Hercules. We're all meant to master all 12 of these archetypes, and it's the same with astrology. These 12 sub-personalities, this is where it gets a bit more subtle and deeper. So any oracle, any astrology reading, is looking at the snapshot of how we're doing on all these different levels, the mundane, the spiritual, the esoteric, 3D, 4D, 5D, something like this, these different views of the same energies, but the different ways that they can express themselves. And like we're saying here a minute ago about perfection, so the other side of perfection is acceptance. Yeah. Like, I'm good enough. I deserve this. I am worthy of this. I can create this. I can allow this. I can be open to receive this. I can be grateful for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
So
I was just going to say, and I totally align with you with those angel cards. I really resonate with those as well. I don't resonate with the traditional tarot. My fancy.
Well, because of the death and the tower card, that's what I started to say. I didn't finish that. Anytime people do the death card or the tower card, the party's over, and you can't tell them anything.
I don't relate to that. I much prefer those angel cards, and I love some of those, the Dorian Virtue ones and different ones. And what would you say? Because some people might say, "Oh my gosh, all that thing that happened with Dorian Virtue," and sort of saying that she refuted everything that she'd done. It doesn't change that these cards are very beautiful and that you can still work with them, does it? So I think maybe speak to that for a minute, because some people might have lost a bit of faith in her cards, but they're still, I find them still very, very beautiful, regardless of all that happened with her.
Yeah, I read Doreen's autobiography, Confessions of a Lightworker or something like this, years ago. And I thought, and she had grown up actually in a New Thought household, like a Church of Religious Science of Mind kind of household. Yeah. And they were doing prayer treatments for her health and wealth and cars and houses and everything. Yeah. And they were manifesting like, just brilliantly. Yes. So, I mean, we're all on our own journey. She was really a huge inspiration to millions of people out there. I know that. And it's been quite sad and confusing to see some of this. But, this is everyone, every teacher, every human being on the planet has stuff, and I've never met anyone without stuff. And so you need some compassion.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I will say too, I've got a lovely friend who was she was the daughter-in-law of Dorian Virtue. She was married to Dorian's son for a while. Not anymore. Yeah. She was pretty well. So, and she used to come and stay with some dear friends of ours who were her parents. And and that was her Australian connection.
Right. Good. Well, I mean, the truth of it is as you and I know, my friend, the last few years have been a deep dive into the darkness of the human shadow and the human soul, and a lot of old ideas about power and, all of that. And now we are really, coming up to the solstice, which everything in my movie is telling me red alert, huge, gigantic, prepare yourself, incoming in this good way. As we said, November was challenging for me and many other people. And it's gotten my full attention to, walk the talk to the very best of my ability on every level, every day, and pay attention to what's changing. So, again, the oracles like tarot and astrology and the other ones, I Ching, etc. They're gifts to make the unconscious mind conscious.
Yes, exactly. And when you think that the unconscious is like 90% of our energy, that's a really powerful tool.
Yes, yes. So it helps us to acknowledge, surrender, and release.
Yeah.
Things that don't work for us. And I will often always start a reading with a prayer. So the people I'm working with know this is not just about me or you. We're bringing in spirit, and spirit's running the show, and we're going to do our best to pay attention and learn what they want us to understand, so that we can step into our spiritual leadership, which I'm sure everyone that follows you is working on that goal in their life on one level or another at this point. The world needs that spiritual leadership.
Oh, that's true. Like attracts like, we're all on that path, aren't we, at the moment?
Yes.
We're really, in a sense, being pushed to be our very best, so that we can meet the challenges of what we're facing at the moment as the earth transitions. Yeah.
Yes. So just to finish the thought, with the 12 labors of Hercules, or the 12 sub-personalities, or the 12 astrological houses, and the major arcana of the tarot, they're all trying to give us a snapshot of how we're doing on the evolution of our soul and our spirit and our consciousness, to bring the lower self of our human identity and ego in alignment with the higher self of our soul and spirit, and consciously and repeatedly merge with those energies, so that we are no longer trapped in these lower vibrations and lower experience.
Yes, absolutely. And I find myself, when I work with cards in that way, and I don't know, I probably don't have the level of expertise that you have, but I have worked with clients with cards.
I'm sure you're very good, sweetheart. Please. Yeah.
And so I know that they can be extremely uplifting, but also give us that self-awareness that we need to be able to move forward. And sometimes, you do get to a point in life where you do want higher guidance, and you do want to have more information about how to go forward. And so that these are really amazingly helpful tools, aren't they?
Absolutely. I do 4 cards every day, and if I'm really up against it, I'll do a full spread. And it's always helpful, as you're saying, because we don't see the bigger picture, and spirit does see the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
You see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The word that comes to mind, honey, is understanding.
Yeah.
When my guides talk about belief, understanding, and knowing, and most of our life, like we're saying, the conscious mind, the eye at the top of the pyramid, or the tip of the iceberg, versus the unconscious, which is where, the hard drive, where everything's happening. And the mind is like the pointer, on our computer, or the needle on our compass saying, go this way, look at this. When they can align to the higher will, to what our higher self, soul, and spirit wants us to be understanding, and wants us to accept and trust and remember, then, as we say, synchronicity, everything works together for good. Doors open up, opportunities come, abundance flows, love flows, healing happens, all of that. So it's like I hear Abraham saying, everything we want is in the vortex.
Yes.
Of feeling good. My favorite quote from Abraham is that the terrible price we're asking you to pay is a happy journey on the way to everything you want.
I can do that.
Yes. I volunteer. We volunteer. Yes. But it's brilliant. It's wonderful. The thing is, we have to keep getting the illusions of separation, the glass half empty, the poor me pity party out of the way.
That's old energy, isn't it? That's old 3D scarcity matrix sort of energy that actually has been subconsciously programmed into us to keep us controllable and manipulable by the higher forces that have served to want to be in charge. So,
Yes.
and when we become aware of all that, then we can address it and we can change it. Yeah.
Yes, yes, beautiful. And again, honey, with the healing the darkness and the light work of Patricia Cota Robles and people like this, it's to send our light to the darkness, to not get the darkness stopping us from being in our light, but to have, when we feel safe, loved, and supported enough in ourselves, safe enough, strong enough, free enough, blast dodgy Dan with a whole bunch of love and light,
We did that in
blast.
We actually did that in our soul healing group. We had a group of us and we just focused this loving energy on him, because that's the way to transmute the dark. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. That's all I was going to say. And the same for ourselves, if we're, regretting something or feeling bad about something or guilt, shame, blame, any of those energies, to forgive and to be forgiven and to bless everyone in the situation and forgive them and give them to God as well. I mean, it can happen very quickly, and it is getting easier and easier because the light is getting brighter and more powerful.
It is. I felt, just even in the last week, these beautiful, really high vibrational energies that are ones that, you haven't really felt to the same degree before, because it's like a real excitement and enthusiasm, and it's coming back. Those feelings that you had when you're a little child, and then as you get older, it's sort of like squashed out of you through the experiences of life. But it's those sort of feelings. I'm feeling like a bit like a kid again. With the energies, and you have to mindfully stay away from a lot of the information that's out there that does the reverse when you tap into that. So it's being able to just freely feel these energies coming through now.
Beautifully said. Yeah, I quite agree. Beautifully said. So here we're coming down the home stretch. So the identity card for us is balance.
Right.
Okay, which we're bringing to our work and our lives. Yeah. The inner self, just as you said, is playfulness, innocence, joy.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The cherubs having a party there in heaven. The outer self card, what we're working on and building, is manifestation.
Yes.
Bringing.
And we were talking about that earlier, weren't we? That we're saying that with these energies coming through now, it's really about stepping into your highest divine calling now, and being open to receiving that and to moving forward with that, because the energies are supporting us to do that. And for me, a door has just opened up to something. I won't go into it because I want to wait till it's a bit more.
Sure.
But it's really sort of being aware that these energies that are coming through now are supporting us to fully align with our divine mission.
Yes, beautiful. Well said. The outcome card is study, which is you and I continuing to educate ourselves into how all this works and fits together.
Yep.
Right? And this is perfect. The overall card is emerging. Beautiful. We're coming into the world
like
as our true self.
Like a cocoon.
Yes. Yep. And it's also the divine feminine here of beauty, innocence, goodness, truth, all those.
She's angelic. She's got the wings.
Yeah.
Angel. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yes.
Yes. So that gives us a map when we do readings, and when people learn to do readings with the tarot as a basis for that, to talk about, as just as we've done here. We both spark off each other. Things inspire things. We see connections, etc. So there's literally, not only is there a healing about remembering our connection to all of life and the conversation that life is always providing for us as we pay attention to it, the feedback system, but there's also that deeper understanding of how we're connected to a bigger story of learning these things and overcoming these challenges and sharing these gifts with the world, like we're saying. And then the final thing is, we mastering these different aspects of ourselves. Oh, I could never do that. Oh, I'm no good at that. Oh, my teacher said I couldn't draw when I was 10 and I never picked up a pen again. all those illusions that we put in our own way, all those obstacles, your soul is going, no, 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 that's who you are. And when you start to come back in connection with those gifts and abilities and your willingness to work with them, then you free your spirit, then you really get your power in this world. And then you can be courageous and joyous and innocent and loving, because we're not all, lost in the mind and the ego and the confusion of the darkness. We're living from that passion and that inspiration every day. And that's what Spirit is calling us to in this time like never before. I truly believe that. So I hope that's helpful.
I love that. That's really, really great. So when you're in a class situation, you've got people you're working with, because you're going to be offering this tarot and the archetypes, learning tarot and the archetypes as a class. You can also talk to one another, bounce off each other, and just help people to realize their highest potential. I think that's another really great aspect about being in a class situation, isn't it?
Yes. Any opportunity that we're given, you and I, as light workers, to remind everyone who's drawn to our energies for whatever reason, however it works, whatever synchronicity gets us, with that opportunity to chat with people and sit with people. There's a lot of love and healing and insight and wisdom and empowerment that happens every time. It's I think that for me personally, Medina, the greatest challenge of my life has been accepting myself,
Yes.
Right. And
relate to that. Yeah.
Sure. I'm sure I'm not alone on that challenge. Absolutely. But the great thing is with Spirit's love and guidance, as we know, you do start to see yourself more clearly. And all these tools are meant to be a deeper mirror into loving and honoring who we truly are. So, if people can have the tools, the techniques, and the resources, more in their medicine bag, to work on understanding, accepting, and loving ourselves, you cannot help but bloom and blossom and your life become better.
It's true. It makes a huge difference. And you accelerate your growths so much when you do these types of things. So
yes,
I think it's going to be an amazing workshop. So it's next Wednesday on the 7th of December that we're offering it. And I'm going to put a link in the description below if people want to join, or if you've got any questions, just go to my website and you can contact me via the contact page, or you can, book straight in. And, I think that you have some incredible your divine connection and your knowledge. I know you spend a lot of time doing your own inner disciplines and spiritual practices. And
yeah.
I love that, because that discipline is really important, and something that we can all learn from. I know I can. And I think that, your gifts are really ones that should go out more and more in the world. So I love to be able to support you with that. And I'm going to be in the class as well, supporting and helping people in whatever way I can. And so we'd love to see you there. So come on in and join us, and we'll look forward to seeing you there. So thank you, Lunar. I love chatting with you as always.
Thanks, sweetheart. Thank you. It's a lot of fun to learn how you work and become consciously aware of how to change your mind, put it that way.
And it's not too confronting doing it this way too. When you do it in this sort of way, there's a sort of like you say, a playfulness and a fun with it, rather than being all serious and going inward and doing this is a much more gentle approach and much more fun loving, isn't it?
Let me tell you, you're saying a great truth, which is the moment that people put pressure on themselves or feel that they're being pressured, the healing stops, the teaching stops, everything stops. Yeah. As long as people understand that you and I are learning these things right along with them, and we are all here to teach each other and learn from each other, then it's a party, and it is a joy. It's not just not painful. It's a delight, and that's why I do this, because it's my greatest joy.
I'll have to disagree with you there, Lou. We're both perfect. We've got nothing to learn. Cough, cough. Just kidding.
You tell me how that works, and I'll come to your workshop. Thank
That's
you.
what I love
Thank
about
you.
you, your sense of humor.
Yes.
We
Well,
always have a joke about these things.
yes, dear. What I'd like to be remembered for is this quote: "Without a sense of humor, it's just not funny."
On that note, we'll say thank you to everyone who's been watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and
Thank you.
we'd love to see you there. So links
Yes.
below, and have a beautiful day. And if you'd like to leave a comment for me or Lou below, that would be beautiful. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye for now.